Hey, internet. I just ran up a hill in the middle of Arnall, Costa Rica to talk to a camera and share this conversation with you guys. Let's keep it going. And speaking of Costa Rica, I've been asked whether or not Costa Rica is inspiring. And I'm personally always feeling an incredible amount of inspiration. But what's so fantastic about Costa Rica is it's pure life, pura vida, where decisions are happening in seconds. And it's fantastic because this is a place full of nature and greenery where a fruit is within arm's reach, the coconuts are falling from the trees, and so you don't have to be worrying about stuff that you would normally be worrying about in the States, where you're essentially working in this sort of modern slavery to survive, to just pay for a new car or to support a family, while here in Costa Rica you can be living plentifully and in a state of surplus and be nobody because the resources are super plentiful. So whether or not Costa Rica is inspiring, sure, I get plenty inspired by nature, that's a bonus. But I figure you can be inspired anywhere on the globe, and you just need to be in a state where you can give time to yourself and be with your loved ones. And whether or not traveling is something that relaxes you, I'm not quite sure. I've personally traveled throughout the States, all except for Alaska. But I think what relaxes you is you kind of get into this adaptive state of observation, and so you're comfortable by means of trying to not only understand the environment but understand the culture and people around you. So in that context, yeah, it does relax you to an extent. Yeah, great question. Thanks for asking, Jordan. I know you also were in Costa Rica for a little while. And a little bit tougher of a question that Tracy, you asked, was what is my favorite time of day? And I thought long and hard about this, maybe having a sort of clever means of like, oh, well, every time of day is great, and but I was trying to think with as little context as possible, just in terms of time of day. And for me, I would have to say it's the few minutes after you wake up. I personally absolutely hate alarms because I love how it is to wake up, how it's this personal choice and this personal experience that's in a way subconsciously meditative, because you're getting out of a dream and waking up into life. And what a beautiful thing to be waking up and being surrounded by an environment you love and your loved ones. And so the whole process and idea of how you wake up, I personally find a huge amount of inspiration and intention of how I want to be waking up each morning. And nostalgia, speaking of what's formed my intentions, so I'm a 90s / early 2000s kid, and so Saturday morning TV holds a really special place in my heart. I can't help it. Or playing Pokemon Crystal with friends. Nostalgia, though, is so particular because there's so much variety that will provoke nostalgia, essentially, that something as simple as seeing a firefly at night will remind me of my childhood in Red Hook, New York, where I would catch fireflies. So nostalgia is this feeling that we can all relate to, but it's so particular and has to do so much with your individual rapport of life and your perspective, essentially. And so yeah, I think my one last question was actually from salad bowl dressing, which I know is just my mom, and wondering if I could step aside. Well, I don't know if I can. I think I'm gonna keep doing this salad bowl. But you guys should go check out salad bowl dressing. My mother's a fantastic fashion designer. Back to nostalgia though, it is kind of interesting that we have these sort of shared ancestral karmic acknowledgments of these feelings. Happiness and sadness, although they can be kind of cliched because they're easy to understand, nostalgia is something really particular and unique to each person growing up. So what I'm wondering of you guys is, what is nostalgic for you? Great question, DA. And yeah, share what you found reminds you of your childhood in the comments below, or any other thoughts or ideas that came up through what I've just said in general. And yeah, I'll be seeing you guys next time. I'd like to remember to subscribe, most importantly comment, like, all, the whole 9 yards. You hear this at the end of every freaking video. Share this with a friend, comment below, and I'll be responding to you all in the next video. Adios, bless, peace.